No matter what, people will commit to misunderstanding you. What's most important is your commitment to understanding yourself. Hello, everyone. My name is Nkirka Madani, known as NK, and welcome back to Misunderstood. So you think everyone is getting their dreams faster than you. I feel like I need a t-shirt that says this because this runs through my mind almost every day. I am victim to this. I believe wholeheartedly sometimes that I'm doing everything. I am in so many circles, hitting all of my marks, but it doesn't feel like that's good enough. It doesn't feel like it's good enough for the algorithm. It doesn't feel like it's good enough for certain friendships. It doesn't feel like it's good enough for opportunities, work-wise, life-wise, body-wise, insert anything here. When it feels like someone else is getting what they want, or maybe what you want before you get it, that hurts and it sucks because you feel like all you're doing is working toward that goal and you don't have it yet. How annoying is that? Now for my personal story. The year is 2022. I met a few Instagram girls online. I met them in person and we were all at brunch. We were talking about our engagement on Instagram. We all had similar followings, so this conversation definitely came at a shock to me. And I had a lot of takeaways after that I didn't share with anyone, but I'm sharing with you guys. One of the girls took out her phone and literally showed us her engagement on Instagram. And we were all so shocked in a good way. She had amazing engagement. A ton of likes, a ton of comments, a ton of shares, everything that you want. And she was growing at an insanely faster rate than most of us were. And I don't know about what the other girls were thinking. I didn't talk to them about this, but I walked away from that brunch feeling really shitty about myself. I walked away from that brunch feeling, okay, well, I'm a piece of shit. Cool. I don't have the engagement she has. Cool. I felt like I was doing more than her. I felt like I was producing more content. I was being more engaging with my audience. I was doing the tactics, all of the tips and tricks to grow. I was doing cool edits and I was thinking more outside of the box. However, her content, and it was great, don't get me wrong, but it was pretty simple. And that frustrated me because it felt like I was working twice as hard for not the same return by a long shot. When you feel like you are comparing yourself to other people, that is a very slippery slope. You can start being very annoyed and very jealous very easily. At the end of the day, that's not productive. And there's sometimes where you don't even see outside of that until someone tells you, hey, that's not productive. Stop. So this is me telling myself, but also telling anybody who has been in this situation, stop. Stop comparing. Stop making it feel like it's a competition against you and this person or you and whoever you are trying to compete against. It's not a competition. It's not a competition because their timeline and your timeline are not and will never be the same. They might have different goals that you don't know because you've never talked to them about those. And even if you do, the way in which you get to said goals and said dreams take completely different avenues. Just because she was getting certain things faster also doesn't discount all the things I've done. Yeah, my engagement wasn't as great as hers seemingly, but I also don't know the avenues in how she's getting the engagement. I don't know what is behind the scenes that I can't see. I made a conclusion off of one little piece of evidence, but that's not the whole picture. Which is why if you think that other people are getting to dreams faster than you have to stop and you have to start to consider that there are so many factors involving how everyone is getting to where they are in life. Literally so many factors. Think about the Nepo babies. They skyrocket to fame and success and influence quite literally overnight because they were fortunate to be born into it. This can also be said for literally any celebrity. This can be said for anyone who is drop dead gorgeous. They just get certain things in life because they were quite literally dealt a certain hand. And yeah, that's super annoying because you look at yourself and you think, well, I just want what she has, or I just want what he has. It's not fair. Yeah, life isn't fair sometimes. Truthfully, life isn't fair sometimes, but that doesn't mean that you don't have something special. That doesn't mean that you don't have something to bring to the table that is spectacular, and that maybe some of those other people who you are quote unquote competing against, some of them don't have what you have. You are special in your own right, and your dreams will come into fruition exactly when they're supposed to. And that's the funny thing about timing and just trusting the universe. And yes, I am very much a woo-woo manifestation, girly law of attraction. Maybe I'll do an episode about that at some point, but I am a firm believer on everything happens for a reason, and the timing of everything is so specific. It's kind of scary specific. Your dreams will come exactly when they're supposed to. Now let's talk about comparison, because I think comparison is the root of the premise of this episode. You think people are getting to their dreams faster than you simply because you are comparing yourself to someone else's journey. So therefore, comparison is what we need to focus on right now. Why are you comparing yourself to somebody who you don't know anything about other than one thing that you saw? Literally, why? Ask yourself right now, why are you comparing yourself to her? You guys are literally not the same person, and you never will be. You guys have different backgrounds. You guys have different ways of thinking. You guys have different experiences. So tell me why you're comparing yourself to her or comparing yourself to him when there will be no time ever that you guys will ever live the same life. When you put it like that, doesn't it sound a little silly to compare? Doesn't it sound a little silly to make up scenarios in your head that aren't true? Because that's literally what is happening. You're making a scenario in your head based on one piece of evidence that you haven't fully validated, and you don't know all the other external factors attributing to why they are the way they are. So essentially, comparing is dumb and ineffective and a waste of your time. What we should be doing is highlighting our strengths. You have strengths. You have so many strengths. You have so many things that are super fun and special and unique about you that I don't have, that they don't have. Why aren't we highlighting those? Why aren't we celebrating those? You need to understand that there is so much to you that other people can't replicate. And yeah, maybe some people do want to replicate what you have, and that should be flattery in and of itself. Now let's talk about your dreams, like the actual dreams that we are trying to achieve. Have you written your dreams down? Because for me, writing dreams down is literally step one. I am very much a pen to paper kind of girl. So if you're more of a maybe typing it on a computer or vision boarding, I think that all can come together here, and you can apply it as you will. Once you put your dreams out into the universe, they become real. But until you do that, they aren't real yet. And I know that's scary. You want something to work so bad, but you're really scared of launching, and you're really scared of getting to the next step. And that's why you haven't written it down, probably. It's in your head. It takes up so much brain space. But if it's in your head and only in your head, how are we supposed to make them come true? Yeah, we need them on paper. We need them visually present. And this can just be for you. I'm not telling you to go tell the entire world that you want to do something. That's going to be covered in a different episode, because I really want to talk about keeping things close to your chest and why that's important in certain aspects. But for right now, all I want you to do is write that shit down. Write it down, please. Actually, why not write it down right now? If you have a pen and paper, or if you have your notes app, just pull it out right now and write one thing down that you want to accomplish in 2025. Write it down right now while you're listening to this podcast. Okay, that is step one. I'm also really big on Pinterest. Like, I love making boards. I make a board for every single year, and that's actually how I make my vision boards. I've found that so scary accurate and so true. In the past 3 years, I've done that. Almost everything has come true and come into fruition in my life simply because I am looking at that damn thing every day. It is my phone screensaver. It is my laptop background. I can't escape it. And that's good, because the more you see something that you want, you sure as hell are going to get it sooner rather than later, because it is now in your frontal view. It is not back in your brain where you have a ton of other shit going on and it gets lost in translation. No, it is literally right in front of you. optically. You are seeing it every day. And so then your subconscious is literally working towards it every single day. And the beautiful part about that is that's another way that you can track your success. You can track it because you wrote it down. There's accountability attached to it. I really hope that you're following me when I'm saying this. There's accountability attached to it once it is on paper, once you have a vision board. You can go back and say, wow, I put that on there in January and now it's September and I did that. Oh, cool. Like, look at that. How fun. The beauty of your dreams is knowing that working towards them is half of the journey, and the journey should be exciting and the journey should be fun. Because when you think about it, achieving your goals and achieving your dreams is very exciting and very happy. And that's the whole point, right? But if you don't enjoy the everyday and the working towards said goal, you're kind of taking away half of the excitement, half of the lore, half of the love of getting to said dream and said goal. I want to talk about one of my dreams and one of my goals that I had for 2024. Now that we're in 2025, I can talk about it. All right. So one of my dreams in 2024 was to move to a new apartment in New York. I was scared as hell. I was doing it all by myself, and I still am, just to be clear, doing it all by myself, just me against the world, just me against New York. That is just scary in and of itself. But I put that on my vision board for 2024. I literally have a New York City apartment little photo in my vision board. I have the city view. I have a nice beige couch, lots of natural light and cute accessories and cute furniture. That's what's in the photo on my vision board. So now fast forward to actually doing the damn thing. The month is March. It was March of last year, 2024. And I was really struggling. I was struggling for a few reasons. I was scared of the expenses that come with moving. If you know, you know, moving in New York City is an arm and a leg. I was stressed about not finding the right place for me and what I needed in my life at the time. I was scared about the comparison of what other people were finding, the elephant in the room, how expensive some other people's apartments were. And then I started comparing myself thinking, oh, wow, they're obviously making way more money than me. So that's why they can afford a better apartment. I was spiraling. March was not a good month. I reference this a lot. March 2024 was not a good month for me. I was really down on myself and I was comparing myself a lot to other people and where they were at in their life and doubting myself. And I was doubting my abilities and I was doubting what I had accomplished because I was looking to my right and I was looking to my left. And I said, well, they're getting their dreams faster than mine. They're in better places than me. Again, allegedly. I'm going off of literally social media posts. I don't know them personally. So why the hell am I comparing? All I can do is run the race for myself, meaning it is me versus me. Take everyone out of the equation. It is you versus you, no one else. So fast forwarding, I found and signed my apartment, this very apartment that I'm sitting in right now, within 3 weeks of the cutoff date, meaning I needed to move out of my old apartment in 3 weeks. And I found this apartment in 3 weeks. And this is after touring, I believe I toured 16 or 17 apartments on my own in person. This very apartment that I'm sitting in right now, this was the very last one that I saw after all of them. That's a lot of apartments. I just want that to be very clear. That is a lot of apartments. This spanned a few months of looking, by the way. So when I say enjoy the journey, I really mean it. Yes, it was really stressful. I don't even want to try to act like it wasn't. It was a very stressful time. However, I made it very fruitful for myself. I had takeaways from every single apartment that I was looking at. And I even documented my entire journey for YouTube. That's actually a big reason why I grew substantially on that platform last year. Not only growth in numbers, because it's not all about that. I gained a community by sharing authentically and transparently how I was feeling, the ups and the downs. I took people through the journey and I gained a community that I was actually still very proud of, to have cultivated this community of people who gave me advice, were cheering me on. So I didn't feel as alone. That is what I mean by enjoying the journey. Because think about it. If I found that apartment early on and didn't make my videos and clue people in on what was going on. I would have just found it and moved on. I might have not even found this apartment actually, which would have been sad because I do really love this apartment. It is exactly what I needed for this time in my life. It has everything I need to feel whole and to feel comfortable. Everything was meant to happen. My New York City dream, still staying in Manhattan, living my best Manhattan life, was still supposed to continue. I just needed to let time work itself out and let the universe work it out. Why I am telling you this story is to go back to the beginning and realize that even though you think someone else is getting a dream or their dreams or maybe your dream faster than you, that doesn't mean that you're not going to get where you want. Having a little patience is really important. Funny, I'm saying this because I am a pretty impatient person, but I have learned over time to work on my patience, which I have. But I'm saying this as someone who is a recovering impatient person. Your dreams are not only going to happen, they're going to happen exactly how they're supposed to go. And the journey is going to be so beautiful. So instead of rushing to want that dream right now, you have to believe that the journey to that dream is going to be so fruitful, and to stop comparing yourself to her or him because you don't know them and you'll never know them well enough to be able to decide whether you should be comparing. You should never compare in general, but you know what I mean. Remember that you are running your race for yourself. It is you versus you, and your dreams are going to come into fruition exactly when they're meant to be. And you absolutely need to enjoy the ride because the ride is honestly the best part. And with that, thank you guys so much for listening to another episode of Misunderstood. I hope that you enjoyed it. Take some time to rate the podcast. That would really help a lot. If you have comments that you'd like to share about this episode, I would love to hear them, and you can leave them below in the description of the show. Come hang out with me on TikTok, Pinterest, YouTube, Instagram at nkmadani. I also have a blog, and I will see you guys next week.